Well, so where is the money in Counter-Strike right now? You brought it up before, Scott, but obviously this is a game that has better viewership than basically anything else that's out there right now, yet majors are capped at $250,000. Dota's staring down a $3 million prize pool next week. They just came off an $18.8 million international. Where's the money at?
Well, I think this is where I would maybe say Valve's getting a little bit of a bad rap because they don't discuss the numbers. Mm-hmm. But all majors have team stickers now and player autograph stickers. Those add up to the millions of dollars that those teams then split. But no one's saying how much that is.
Sure.
So while our prize purse is woefully low, don't get me wrong, like that would be nice if it was bigger. Like there's guaranteed income to these teams and these players just for being in the program, which again goes under the radar. It's not prize money, and it's guaranteed money, which is actually better. You could get last place, challenger teams, still get your eighth of a cut of your team stuff.
And that seems silly to me. It seems like Valve would actually want to, maybe not exact numbers, but at least look at the world and say, look, we've provided a sustainable ecosystem where everyone can make a living, and if you're involved in one of these teams, you're good.
Yeah, it far exceeds the prize purse they'll win at the event, even for the lowest team to the top team. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wish they would say it, because when I say millions of dollars, I'm not exaggerating.
Sure.
And not necessarily millions per team, 16 teams.
I know what you mean.
But
yeah.
The pool is millions and millions, and every major, like more and more. Because obviously it's a very engaging, cool thing to do.
Exactly.
I do wish it was public.
And I just want to defend Valve as well in terms of, we have 250K tournaments, but this was something he asked about in the beginning, when even before the first major got announced, was do you want to have like a TI in terms of do you only want this one massive tournament a year, or do you want it spread out? Yep. Obviously, we want it spread out.
Yeah, I think we all said that, spread out.
Because the main issue that Dota had, or still has, it's getting better now, is last year, it was so many tournaments, and it didn't really matter. It didn't really matter how much money you threw in. It would never even come close to the TI money. And then you're in a situation where, it's overplayed, and viewership drops because there's a tournament every day, and then TI comes up. After that, team splits unless you win, and then you basically just start over. It's not fun to watch. Where do you think they got the major concept from? That's from CS:GO,
exactly.
Right? So we can sit here and talk about how much Dota has. But we had something Dota did not have, and that's adapting. And then I'm sure coming into next year, I am hoping that the 258 maybe will be bumped up. Maybe we have other plans for it, but there's always room for improvement. But it's to the point that would we rather have 3 or 4 smaller tournaments, more action-packed a year? Because look at Cologne, look at Katowice, look at all these majors we've had. They're so good and they're so fun to watch. Do we rather have 4 of those every year with less prize money, or the experience you get from those just one time per year? I mean, for me at least, that's a given.
I think looking at international, it's a great marketing move to say you have however much money it was this year. I mean, a good example is look at Halo, right? They in their marketing initiatives had announced, by the way, guys, your purchase of Rec Pack sales boost the prize pool up to $1.5 million, right? And it was like a really big deal. But I am also of that same mindset where it's like I really appreciate Riot for not really plastering the money in front of your face and saying these players are playing for the pride of being the League of Legends world champion, rather than saying these players are playing for a crap ton of money and everything else that happens around it just does not matter. Because a great example is when you look at international, and then you had, what was it, I believe, a Super Week over in New York. I think it was a Dota event hosted by ESL. EG didn't even care. They didn't even practice for it, right? Because they didn't need to, because they're freaking millionaires, right? Good on them, congratulations, but the world still has to continue forward, and that kind of reduces the value of it, right? And it almost makes it seem like a joke at that point.
I wouldn't say joke necessarily, but I do agree with what you're saying, though, and to build on what you were saying, Robin, I would love to have 3 or 4 awesome, amazing, wonderful, huge majors through the year. But in my opinion, there is something a little lacking when you don't crown that one world champion per year. I'm not saying you need $50 million behind it, but obviously at the League of Legends finals that we just had, no one cared about the $2.5 million that was on the line. No one even mentioned prizes once from what I saw. All anyone cared about was holding that cup.